girls, take a look at the activity on this page. It says take out the tens. Now a lot of times in 5th grade, and probably all grades of math, you learn a strategy on easy numbers. So that's what we're doing today. We're practicing a strategy on easy numbers. And these, you've probably done this before. So when I take out the tens here, I'll put 8 tens and 3 ones. Okay? The next one, what am I going to write?
9 tens and 3 ones.
Good. Now it changes a little bit. Marco, what do you think?
10 tens and 3 ones.
You're right. Now, if there's more than one digit, like if you have a digit that goes to the hundreds place, it's just going to move over and join the tens. And in a few days, we'll do this with decimal place value. So now we have, you want to finish it?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and finish it. Then check it with mine. Does anyone remember this from 4th grade?
Yeah.
Seems a little familiar.
Yeah.
Was it on Zern
No.
when you worked on it yesterday?
No.
Okay,
Mine wasn't.
yours wasn't? Okay, so here's what I want you to remember. There's only going to be one digit in the very last place value. You'll put the rest of the digits in the one before. And soon we'll have 3 and 4 place values that we do this activity with. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. This one's not going to be too difficult for you either, but I'm going to do a little bit of drawing for you. Beware, it's not going to be that great, okay? So if I have a place value chart, and I'm just going to do that place value chart. You don't have to draw this. I'm going to do that one with the lines that keep going. Because I'm going to remind you what bundling looks like, okay? So when I do this place value chart, this is going to be what place value?
100.
What?
1,000.
Thousands. Just say thousands.
10.
Hundreds, tens. Uh-oh. It came back. Okay. Ones, tens. I'll erase this in a minute. Hundreds, thousands. How am I doing?
Good.
10,000s. That's far enough. Okay? Now, if I put 10 hundreds in here, and I'm just going to do and I bundle it, and I change units, what do I end up with? 1,000, okay? So all I have to do is write 1,000 on the line. Hopefully technology is going to catch up with me here in a minute. Okay? Now, what if I did that same thing, but I started in the tens place? And I bundle it, and I change units. What will I end up with?
100.
100. Has anyone noticed which direction it goes when we're bundling it? To the left. Okay? And if I bundle in the ones place, move it over 1, what do I end up with?
10.
A 10. One group of 10. Now this is where it gets a little bit confusing. When you cross over the decimal. So see the decimal right here? What if I bundle in the tenths place and I move over? What do I end up with?
1.
1. Okay, and what if I bundle, ooh, this is a trick. Bundle in the thousands. And I move over. What do I end up with? Hundreds. So 1. And did I show you the abbreviation yesterday? Let's get another abbreviation going. I'm tired of writing all those long words. So put THS on it. Sit up for me, Hunter. Okay? All right. And, oh gosh, I'm kind of out of room over here, but you'll be able to see it, won't you? What if I bundle in the hundreds and move it over 1? What do I end up with?
10.
Tenths. 1/10. Do I need the S on that? Hundreds this time? Nope. Okay, so that's a review of bundling from 4th grade. We're going to keep reviewing, but we're going to review 5th grade on this one, okay? Now, this is very important because it starts making more sense to the kids that are still confused. Okay, so I'm going to start with 200s on here, okay? 200s. So a 2 in the hundredths place. Whoops. 2 in the hundredths place. You got it?
Yes.
Okay. If I multiply by 10, which way do I move?
Left.
Left over here. And how many place values?
1.
1. And what do I write on the arrow?
Times 100.
Times 10. This is a review of 5th grade. Sound familiar? That's what we're doing, okay? So how do I write my answer? That's the hard part. Here's my answer. 2 what?
10.
So how do I write it?
2.
Go ahead and just shout it out for me. 0.2. Awesome. Now when you tell me how to write it, you can just tell me the digits. You don't have to say and or decimal, okay? All right, 3/10. So go down to the next row, 3/10, 200ths. I'm going to go kind of quickly on this. All right, multiply by 10, which way do I move?
1.
How many?
1.
Okay. Don't forget to write times 10 and make 2 arrows this time.
But you don't have to write the times 10 on the second.
Right, you don't have to write times 10 on the second one. Good job. Thanks for remembering. So now I have 3 and 2 tenths, okay? And I'm going to write 3.2. You with me?
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm going to speed it up a little bit. 3/10, 200ths, 4 thousandths. Get that put on there. Oh, you guys are fast now. Okay. Same thing. Multiply by 10. 1 place value to the left. Write it on the first arrow. Is this getting easier?
Yes.
Much. I don't have room to write it, so I'll write it down here. 3.24. Who wants to try and say that? Alexa,
3 and 24.
you're close.
I know it.
3 and class, 3 and 24. Yeah, you just forgot one word. Okay? Very good. So let's keep going. I've got 2/10, 4 hundredths. Do this one by yourself. 2/10, 4 hundredths, 5 thousandths. Alexa, I'm going to ask you again. How do you say this number?
2 and 45 hundredths.
Awesome. Okay. Fist to 5, boys and girls. How you doing on understanding this? 5 is good. So give me a 5 if it's good. Okay. Good. 1/10. This one. Whoops. Put it in the wrong place. 1/10. 3 thousandths. Oh.
I didn't do
What do you think, Skeeter? You might as well talk through it. What do I put when there's nothing there?
0.
Right. Okay. So now you do the same thing.
Wait.
By the way, anyone want to try and say this number? 103 thousandths. Awesome. Okay. So move it over. And I've got 1.03. Hunter Garza.
1 and 300.
Awesome. 1 and 300ths. I'm going to turn the page. You're just going to go down to the next row. Do you want to draw a line between division and multiplication?
That's what I just
Yeah, just to kind of keep things from getting jumbled up on your paper. Okay? So now we'll start with 2 1s. How is this going to be different? Chloe?
You go right.
You go right. Do we still go the same number? 1 place value? How do you know it's 1?
Because it only has 1 0.
1 0 on 10. It says divide by 10. So we'll go one place value to the right. Now don't do what I did yesterday. I wrote times 10 on there. What are we going to write on the arrow this time? Divided by 10. Okay, so here's how you say it. 2,
10.
how do you write it?
0.2.
Awesome. Okay, now we start out with 3/10. Divide by 10 equals 300. Now stop for a minute. Remember the other day when I was changing the color of my pen to make you see how many zeros you're going to need to write? Okay, so Julian, tell me how to write 300s.
0 and 0.0300.
Just 0.03. Good, okay. You say 300s. Okay, the next one is 2 1s, 3/10. Much better, boys and girls, much better. Stephanie, I know I'm in the way, so if you ever can't see, just look at the computer, okay? Cameron, you can't look at the computer. I'm teasing. Okay, so 2 1s, 3/10 divided by 10. Boys and girls, do you notice I write on the farthest to the right arrow this time? Don't accidentally write on the arrow with the 2. Okay? Write on the farthest to the right. Okay, so I'm going to write 0.23. Jocelyn, how do you say that number?
0.
No, that's what you write. Start with this, 20.
2300.
Good. Okay, next one. 2 1s, 3/10, 500s. Here's a mistake I saw yesterday. I want to point out mistakes so we can learn from them. The 2 is the last number you move. What's the first number you move?
The 5.
The 5. Make sure you move the 5 first, and it just goes over 1 and down. Ooh, this one's kind of tricky to say. Okay, Skeeter's got it. Tell me how you say it.
2/10 and 3500s.
You're close. Start with 200.
200 and 3500s.
Where's your 5? What place value is your 5 in?
Thousands.
Okay, so say it with me, boys and girls. 235,000. Okay, you want to try the next one on your own?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. 5/10, 200s. I didn't put enough blue zeros, did I? Okay. So Ray's going to say this for us.
52,000.
Oh my goodness! That is so awesome. That just made my day. Besides the fact that I got a gift this morning. Okay, so this one's kind of tricky. In fact, it goes a little bit past what I planned for it to go past. So you don't even have enough columns on your place value chart to do this one. So let's talk it through. 110, that's all the way over here. Ray, look where 110 is. Did you get it? Okay. And 5 thousandths. So What do you think I fill in with here? Oh my gosh, look at those decimals. They're not in the right place. That was from my copying and pasting earlier. So how many zeros do I fill in with? 3. So when I write my answer, how many zeros am I going to have in it?
3.
At least 3. Okay, so now if I divide by 10, we're going over here into the great unknown. I'm just going to put the 5 there. Divide by 10. Then I move all the zeros. Then the 1.
Whoa.
So let's write that answer, then we'll figure out how to say it.
I know how to say it.
You know how to say it, okay? I'm going to let you try and say it in a minute.
Me too.
Now my guess is Chloe used a place value chart in the classroom. And I said I made that place value chart go farther than we need it in case. Okay, Chloe.
1 in 5,000.
Well, you're close. It's not 5,000.
Oh.
Try it again, Chloe. Now, I'm going to help you.
10,000.
You got it. So say it again from the beginning to
1 in 10,000.
1 and 5
10,000.
10,000s. Okay? That's kind of confusing. That's probably why we don't go that high very often. Okay, let's take a look. This is going to be the application problem. Yeah, you're on the back of, there you go. Okay, now do you remember in math class we don't get highlighters out, we just put a box around the numbers with our pencil, okay? All right, a school district ordered 247 boxes of pencils. Each box contains 100 pencils. If the pencils are to be shared evenly among 10 classrooms, how many pencils will each class receive? Draw a place value chart to show your thinking. Now, I noticed there are 3 numbers this time. The other day when we did the manufacturer question, there were only 2 numbers. So what do you think is going to happen here?
It's 2 parts.
2 steps. 2 steps, okay? So my guess is that's why your teacher put 2 place value charts on there for you. This one's for the first one, this is for the second step, okay? Now, I want to tell you that I know you don't have a lot of room to write, so we're going to be squeezing things in between. But do you know how you have the edge of the paper? And you could start writing out on the edge of the paper to give yourself more room. Okay, so technically, we've got 2 problems. We've got to decide if we're going to add, subtract, multiply, and divide on them. So I'm looking for words that tell me what I'm going to do. Vaylin?
Each word is there.
Each. Now this each box contains, I'm going to highlight. I'm not going to highlight how many pencils will each class receive. That's the question. That's not part of the problem. Okay? All right. So that's one thing I'm going to do. Each box contains. What do you think that's going to mean? Multiply or divide?
Multiply.
Multiply. Why do you say multiply?
Because I forgot the reason why.
Contains. Contains probably means it's getting larger. We don't know for sure unless we read all the other words around it, okay? All right, so we're going to multiply. The first step's going to be what?
Multiply.
247 times what?
And 100.
Times 100. That's going to give us the total number of pencils that the school district bought. Okay, now don't do anything now. Just don't do anything, okay? Technically, I can solve this problem using the zeros trick.
Yep.
Anything times 10, add a 0 to the end. Well, anything times 100, add 2 zeros to the end. So technically, I could write 2, 4, 7, 0, 0 and have that answer. Watch me put the comma in. 1, 2, 3, comma. Okay, so I did that without a place value chart, without sliding the digits over, because I can use the 0 trick, okay? Problem is, it says draw a place value chart to show you thinking, so we're gonna have to do it anyway. That's okay, it's not going to be hard. 1, 2, 3, decimal. Get your decimals on there. When you label it, please label it like I am. And I won't make you label both. Fair enough? Do you remember how I did 10,000s?
Yeah.
T, TH. Okay. Now if I'm starting with 247, a 2 in the hundreds place, a 4 in the tens, a 7 in the ones, and I multiply by 100, Jacob, birthday boy, how many place values do I move?
2.
2, which way?
To the
Right.
Left or right?
right.
Left. So here we go. 1, 2, bring it down. What do I write on the arrow this time?
Times 100.
Times 100. Okay, then I move my 4 and the 7. And how many zeros did I have to add to the end?
2.
2. You don't have to write those on the place value chart, but you need them in your answer. What's this number that turns out to be our answer? 24,700. Say it again. 24,700. Okay? Now that's how many pencils they have. If they want to share them with 10 classrooms, what word tells me what I'm going to do next? Hunter G. Well, what word tells me I'm going to divide? There's 2 words actually. Evenly and shared. Okay? When I share it, I know I'm going to share it at least with one other person. We're sharing with 10 classrooms. So what number am I dividing by 10?
24,700.
Okay, divided by 10. Now wait a minute. Looks to me like I can use the zero trick again. If it's anything times 10, add a 0 to the end. What's the opposite of that?
You take the 0.
Take a 0 off the end if you divide. So this is how I show it. Now, I'm going to move that down a little bit so I can write. Oh, no, I'm not. I'll just have to write down here. So, watch me place my comma. 1, 2, 3, comma. What's my answer?
2,470.
So, 2,470 pencils is what each classroom will receive. That would last me several years. Okay, so if I'm going to put this on the place value chart, can we do it without labeling it? Just use the labels from above. Okay, so 24,700. If you don't know where to write that, you can just look back up at your answer from step 1, can't you? Here's your answer to step 1. That's what we started with. And we're dividing by what?
10.
10. Which way do I move, Cameron?
Right.
Right. How many?
1.
1. Well, it's getting easier. As soon as it gets easier, I'm going to teach you a trick. So you don't have to use a place value chart anymore. Okay, if I were going to answer with a sentence on this, how would I do it? Well, the first thing I have to do is I have to find the question. Here's the question. How many pencils will each class receive? So if I want to write a sentence, I can restate that question. What could I start with?
Each class will receive.
Awesome. Each class will receive. 2,470 pencils. So today's lesson is all about whether I can use the zero trick. Somebody tell me what the zero trick is. Tegan.
It's where if you have like 2 zeros, you move it over.
Okay, well that is sort of a trick. But that's not the trick I'm talking about. Let me give you this rhyme and then you're going to remember the trick. Anything times 10
You just
add
0 to the end.
0 to the end. Good, okay? So that trick works sometimes. Let's just say I had 100. Could I do anything times 100, add 2 zeros to the end?
Yes.
Yes, I could. Okay. What if I have 1,000?
Yes.
Could I add 3 zeros?
Yes.
Yes, I could. Okay. If 10 is one of my factors, and I'm multiplying a whole number, that's very important. A whole number, no decimals. Then I can use the zero trick. Okay? Now, on division, it's a little different. On division, I would say anything divided by 10, take a 0 off the end. And if I go back to the problem we did yesterday, and I don't know if we did this or not, because first of all, I have 4 classes, and second of all, it was yesterday, okay? But here's how you would take the 0 off the end. 24,700 divided by 10. I could just take a 0 off the end and write 2,470. Is that what we did?
Yes. We didn't do it, but some of the other classes might have,
Okay.
but we didn't do it.
All right. So this right here, boys and girls, is what it looks like when you do the zero trick with division. Okay? You don't have to write that right now. When we get to our problem set, we're going to practice that a little more. Okay, so let's take a look at these, because one of these is going to work for the zero trick. Which one do you think is going to work, Louise? Can I take a 0 off the end in the division problem?
Yeah.
Where's the 0 I can take off the end? There's not one, is there? So I can't use the trick on division. Can I use it on the multiplication?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it then. 3, 6, 7, 0. Well, that was easy. Now place your comma. 1, 2, 3, comma. What's your answer? 3,670. Watch this trick. Every time I get to the comma, I'm going to say a place value. This time it's 3,670. Okay? So that we're done with that one. That was nice, wasn't it? Okay, let's do the next one. 367 divided by 10. Can I take a 0 off the end?
No.
No, so we will put it on the place value chart. 1, 2, 3 decimal. Get your decimals on there first. You only have to label these place values. I'm saving you some time. And I told block 1 I'm going to start going faster, so I'm not going to be waiting around for you to write things down anymore. Okay, so where do I place 367?
The 3 under the H, the 6 under the T, and the 7 under the Y.
Awesome. Okay. What do I do when I divide by 10, Isaiah?
Move the numbers once to the right.
Awesome. And I write divided by 10. And I have an answer.
And you have to finish doing the arrows.
Oh, yes, I do. Thank you, Hunter. But I only write divided by 10 on the very first arrow. Now, here's a mistake I saw yesterday. I saw kids trying to move the 3 first. Whichever way you're going, if you're going to the right, move the farthest right number first. Okay? All right, so 36.7. Katie, how do you say that?
36.7.
Well, that's what we wrote. 36 and Katie? 7.
10.
Okay, it's all coming back to us now, isn't it? All right, let's do the next one. Now you're going to skip down past the place value chart. Do you see that?
Yeah.
I gave you too many. You don't need all of those. Okay, let's take a look at the first one. Can I use a zero trick? 4,367 times 10.
Yes.
Okay? So just put a 0 on the end of it. Now I'm pretty picky about this, so I want you to watch me place the comma. 1, 2, 3, comma. I want you to count backwards from the ones place. Okay, so when I get to the comma, I'm going to say 1,000. Here we go. 43,670. Okay. So now you have an answer for that. Can I take a 0 off the end of this one? No. So I've got to get it on the place value chart. 1, 2, 3 decimal. And you only have to go to thousands and tenths. It'll save you a little time. Stay with me. Your goal is to stay with me so we can move along. This is day 5 for lesson 1. No, this is lesson 2. This is day 2 for lesson 2. I'd like to finish it in 3 days. Okay, so 4,367 divided by 10. A mistake I saw. Do not move the 4 first. Which number will we move
7.
first? Good. I'm glad you're here, Mrs. Lowry.
Thank you.
Now, I sort of have a routine down. I write the number and then I figure out how to say it. Have you noticed that about me? You have less problems that way. Okay, Yasmin, tell me how to say 436.7.
436 and 7/10.
Awesome. Okay, fist to 5. Do you understand this?
Yep.
Okay, pretty simple, isn't it? 5 would be you understand it. 4 would be you're still a little bit confused. What do you got, Tegan? You got a 5, a 4. Okay. All right, let's go to the next page. Now I'm going to tell you that the 0 trick only works on whole numbers. Are these whole numbers?
Yes.
Oh.
No.
No, they're not. When it has decimal place value, the 0 trick will not work. So both of these you will have to place on the place value chart. You want to give it a try on your own?
Yes.
Okay, I'll tell you which place values you need to write in there, okay? So 1, 2, 3 decimal. You've got to go over to hundredths. Well, on the second one you do. The first one you just need tenths.
I guess I didn't write hundreds on it.
Yeah. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Ten thousands. You need them all on this. From tenths to 10,000s. Okay, so get your place value charts labeled and attempt, Hunter, you can draw an arrow, but you skipped a whole problem. We're on these. Okay. So 215.6 Do you remember what I said the number one mistake was for children when doing these? They put it in the wrong place to start with. So you need to double check that. I would personally, if I noticed they were both the same number, I'd get them both on there before I started. And then I'm going to multiply on one, divide on the other. I'm going to pull some sticks here. Poncho, come and write it on the board. For the first one, 215 and 6/10 times 100. You wish I would have pulled your stick. No?
Yes. Yeah.
No pressure, Poncho, but I'm recording. Okay, he did great. So I have 21560. 1, 2, 3, comma. How do you say that number, Daniela?
91,560.
Awesome. Okay, should I pull a stick for the next one? Okay. All right. Isaiah, where are you? Would you like to come and do the division problem? 215 and 6/10 divided by 100. This is a first. I've never recorded when children were helping me before.
The whole problem?
Do all your arrows. Okay? Do them in the correct order. Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Vision?
Division, 100. Oh my, these kids are smart. You want me to go ahead and write it for you?
Yeah. I'm not tall enough.
I know. I could move it down. So this is 2.156. Who wants to try and say that? How about Riley? 2 and
2 and 1
100.
and 56,000.
Is that
Awesome.
times or plus?
Multiply. Okay, that looks great.